I'm going to say farmer gals, but you need to know that Anne and I have known each other since we were teenagers. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a real pleasure to be here with that girl who used to run around causing me hassle. Standing here this morning brings back memories for me of growing up in rural Gloucestershire, where farms were simply part of the fabric of everyday life. They were places of hard work, certainly, but also places where people gathered, where young people learned practical skills, and where communities quietly looked after one another. And of course, farms are places where children can learn something magical, whether that's feeding lambs, holding a chick for the first time with a towel over your knee, or simply running around a farmyard, literally, with a sense of freedom that is becoming rarer in modern life. That's why places like this matter so much. My name's John May, and I'm the High Sheriff of Oxfordshire. There's been a High Sheriff in Oxfordshire every year since before 1066. And I have a list of all the names of people who've served in this role. And as we're in this part of Oxfordshire, I should say that we shared the High Sheriff with Berkshire for a few years as well. But we're ostensibly responsible for law, order and justice in our county, which is why I have the most interesting thing about me, a sword. And there are several children who have already examined the sword today, and no doubt there'll be a few more afterwards. But today we are celebrating the opening of the Janet Gow Farmyard. And I want to begin by thanking Anne and everybody else involved for the vision, determination and sheer hard work that have brought this wonderful new space to life. For many young people today, contact with farming and the countryside is no longer something that they can take for granted. But understanding where food comes from, caring for animals, experiencing the rhythm of the season are experiences that stay with people for life. Centres like this one can do something incredibly valuable. They bring learning out of the classroom and into the real world. They help young people build confidence, curiosity and responsibility, and sometimes they simply allow a child to get muddy, laugh loudly and discover the joy of being outdoors. But projects like this don't happen by accident. Anne has shared with me, as I think she has with some of you, that the journey to today's opening has been a long one, and it's had a few twists and turns along the way. Anybody who's worked in farming or education will know that progress rarely follows a straight line. It requires resilience, it requires focus, and above all, it requires values. A clear sense of why something matters enough to keep going when things get difficult. And you've spent the last year serving as my chaplain. And what you've created here reflects those qualities of resilience and focus and values. You've built something that is rooted in family, in learning, and in a deep belief that young people benefit from connecting with the land and the animals. And it's clear from the remarkable group of people gathered here today, from schools, and partners, and friends and supporters, that this has been a shared journey. Projects like this are never the result of one person alone, but they always begin with someone who believes strongly enough to take that first step. And thank you for your belief and the determination that has brought us here today. And of course, places like this, like all great enterprises, really are about people. And today, we're celebrating two remarkable members of the Farmer Gow family whose commitment has helped make this place what it is today. Every successful organisation has people at its heart who quietly keep everything moving. The ones who turn up day after day in all weathers and simply get on with the job. And at Farmer Gals, two of these people are Mark McCracken and Dale Whitehall. Oh yes. So let's start with Mark. Mark, come forward. Come here. You horrible man. So Mark, you've been at Farmer Gals, you've been part of the Farmer Gals story for an extraordinary 25 years. He came here as a tiny child. Well, actually as a teenager. And was mentored by one of the senior members of the team. Over time, he's become one of the pillars of the farm. Today, Mark leads the mobile farm visits, taking the experience of the countryside out into schools and communities across the region. He also oversees firewood processing and deliveries, Christmas tree deliveries and farm maintenance. What really, everything. What really stands out about Mark, Anne tells me, is something even simpler than all of that. And we see it every time we meet. A ready smile, a willingness to help, the quiet reliability that every organisation depends upon. Every business needs a Mark. Mark, thank you for your loyalty, your hard work, and the huge contribution you've made to Farmer Gals over the past 25 years. Should we just do a quick photo together? Sorry about this, everyone. There we go. We're there. We're there.
Oh, they're all right. Well, we've got to wait. We're over there. Which one? Oh, yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Where's Dale? Come in. Come on. Dale's story is just as inspiring. Dale came to the farm 15 years ago through a work experience programme, and if I'm right, at that time you were still waiting for qualifications. Correct. Little confidence. Correct. And perhaps expectations that were not as high as they should have been. Correct. But something remarkable happened. Dale kept turning up, day after day, task after task. Slowly and steadily, your confidence and your skills grew. With the support of the team here, you've developed not only practical skills, but also the confidence to continue learning. Over time, I understand that you've received your GCSEs in English and Maths. Wow, a remarkable achievement in itself. And today you lead school visits to the farm, you manage the Christmas tree barn, you support young people coming through work experience programs. Even more importantly, you've encouraged others to believe that they too can learn and succeed. Well, every business needs a Dale. So Dale, thank you for your dedication and for everything you bring to this farm and to the young people who visit it. Right, I promise I'm nearly done. As High Sheriff for this year, my theme has been hearing the young unheard. That means recognising the places and people who quietly make a difference in the lives of young people. Well, Farmer Gals is exactly that kind of place. It's a place where young people can learn practical skills, gain confidence and discover that they belong. And it's a place that sends a very simple but powerful message. Whoever you are, however you arrive, you are welcome here. That spirit of welcome runs through everything this farm represents. So it now gives me enormous pleasure as High Sheriff of Oxfordshire to declare the Janet Gow Farmyard officially open. May it bring joy, learning and laughter to children and families for many years to come. Thank you very much. There is inevitably a ribbon. Emily, High Sheriff Cadet, has got me organised. So I need to make sure the photographs are correct, because you can only do this once. And come and stand with me. Okay, before I snip, you don't say that on a farm, do you? Yeah, do a countdown, Emily, go on.
3, 2,
1.
All right. And this is something I have always wanted to do. There's a plaque.